Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining me from. It's been a while. To be honest, I wasn't feeling too well. I had cold and sore throat, so I couldn't come out live. I cannot speak, but I thank God I'm okay. So first thing first, let me know where you're joining me from, and if the mic is okay, if you can hear me well, please let me know in the comment section. So I have Oguntoye says, good afternoon. Please, I need help on EU and GU. Oguntoye. All right, we are going to go through EU and GU. And if this is your first time on the stream, kindly let me know where you are chatting from and then give me 3 pairs or 3 instruments that you want me to go through. It could be cryptocurrency, it could be gold, it could be currency pairs. So whatever it is, let me know. Put in the chat the 3 pairs you would like me to go through. And welcome to the New York session. My lighting, I made it to be a bit dim. I don't know if it's okay. If it's not okay, let me know. Victor, this is our member in the house. Welcome, Victor. Good afternoon to you. How are you doing, Victor? So, Victor, let me know the pairs you want me to analyze today, and possibly we can see a trade setup from there. Isaiah says, I can hear you. Yeah, sure. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. I'm trying to brighten up the light. Oh, Ogunje says, I can at you. I didn't see the T. Actually, I thought you said you can hear me. So I believe this also means you can hear me, okay? So we'll be looking at Euro USD because that's the first recommendation from Oguntoye. Okay. I'm just getting to get used to. So I believe your trading has been going well. And if you are using my strategy, that would be good. If not, if you are still profitable, I'm happy for you. So let's take a look at Euro USD. Of recent, I've not been trading currency pairs. But based on our last analysis, let's look at what Euro USD is talking about. So on the monthly, as you can see, we have a strong resistance here at 1.1817. Okay, we have a strong resistance there, and price rejected, and we're heading down. So I won't be surprised if we target this low here at 1.1419. All right. So based on the monthly, I will not be surprised if price come in here. But currently we are battling with a resistance here. So I have to take a look at this. Going to the weekly. The weekly also is bearish. Now on the monthly, we have a monthly bearish directional bias. Okay. And overall, I feel market will come to this point here. This is where I expect price to get to. Even though we have obstacle here, we are going to see what happens in the lower time frame around this area. If not to change in the lower time frame, we should be heading to this point. So going to the weekly, on the weekly time frame, we are also bearish. All right, this was supposed to be a perfect area to sell on this resistance here. This was the perfect area to sell. Okay, and then probably we target this area here. But overall, this is the long-term picture I'm looking at, this level. Okay, this is the weekly level that is the same price with the monthly level. All right, what number is this? 1 minute. Okay, we have two monthly level here. We have two monthly level. The first one, this was our target on the monthly. Now below that, we have a weekly level here. So for now, we want to look for a way to push price to the low, to the downside. So on the daily, we continue going sell. You can sell. We continue looking for sell trades. We are heading to this level here. Okay. We keep selling on the daily. So this market is a sell market. So whatever you do, whatever strategy you are using, make sure you look for a setup that can give you a bearish trade. All right, a bearish trade setup is all that we need. Okay, so this is all I have on Euro USD. It's a sell trade. We keep selling from that level. The opening candle of today, you can start selling from there. So we have a resistance here on the 4-hour, which sponsor the move to the downside. Okay, so as it stands, we sell. All right. So don't forget, let your requests come in based on the currency pair you want me to look at. Victor, in particular, let me know, because you are a diamond member on the live stream here. Your chat is of priority, so make use of it. The next one is GU. So looking at GU, man. All right. From my last analysis, you can see we were heading to the downside. Okay. So price rejected from this level. And we have a fresh rejection here and also here. So we're heading down. All right. That is how you know the directional bias, especially when we start closing below the reversal opening price. Once you close below this opening price, you know that we go even down further. Okay. So monthly is bearish, all right? So the weekly time frame also is bearish. In the meantime, whenever you are trading, always take note of the fresh support. If you are going for a sell, always take note of the support. Those can be a form of obstacle that might delay the push. All right. Sometimes you see price consolidate is as a result of that support level. Like in this case, you can see that before price could break this level, it took how many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was on the 8th week it broke before moving. So when you are selling, whenever you are selling, take note of the support. I'm not saying the support is going to bounce back, push the price back up. I'm just saying these are areas where you can, if you're already selling, these are areas you can take your profit and then observe what price does in the lower time frame. Okay, the price will push further to this point. So for me, my target, short-term target is this level, the long-term target is this level on the weekly. So on the daily, we have this. Price is also pushing down here. Price has already moved, so we have to wait for a form of consolidation before we can attempt to sell. A form of consolidation. Maybe I want to see a blue candle before I attempt selling. Okay, so this is my view on GU. I believe Oguntoye is okay with that. I believe you are okay with that. Okay. So in the absence of any requests, I'll be looking at gold. Now, if you have been following this channel for a long time, you will know that I've been a fan of gold. In fact, gold being on a bullish roller coaster, all right? And on the monthly time frame, the directional bias is still bullish. Okay, the way I trade based on each time frame, if price come to any level on that time frame, let's say if I'm bullish on this level and price comes to a support on that time frame, I'm going to buy. All right. Now we know that there have been a form of strong selling pressure from there. That has not changed the directional bias on the monthly. Okay. What you can join in for the sell will be in the lower time frame like the daily. All right. And those sell are simply a form of retracement. Like for example, if you have if you have something like this, maybe the monthly is moving from one level to another level here. All right. In the lower time frame, we are going to have multiple up and down movement because the resistance on the lower time frame will form the retracement. All right, it's going to form the retracement, especially somewhere around there that push this price down. They are simply resistant on the lower time frame, but that doesn't change the overall direction of the higher time frame. Okay, so once it gets to a support on the lower time frame, you can buy to push price to the upside. Okay, so that is my idea. Even though we are selling on lower time frame, it does not change the overall direction of the higher time frame. I believe I've made myself clear on that. Okay, so on that note, we go to the weekly. Now on the weekly, we have price trading around this level, this support. Okay, and it almost came to this area as well. Let's check if it touched it. Yeah, we can call it a touch. So these are areas where you should be looking for a buy trade. And as you can see, after the push down, and by the way, this push down is a result of a lower time frame change in direction. All right, but they will not be strong enough to change the overall direction of the higher time frame unless the higher time frame get its rejection on the resistant on the higher time frame. Okay, there are a lot of things to learn when it comes to understanding this opening price strategy. Okay, if you want to fast track your understanding, you can join my VIP mentorship, where I teach you one-on-one teaching. All right, so you get to understand everything. All right, so in this case, I'll still be bullish on the weekly and the monthly. Okay, so this push down, I'm not panicking. They are simply a form of retracement. In this case, a more earlier retracement than what was happening around here. Okay, so where we are going to be interested in is on the daily. So for me, I can recommend you take a buy trade to the upside on the daily. Okay, as you can see, we are rejecting of this level, pushing upward, and we should continue upward. That's in my own opinion. So this market, I think the strategy is done. All right, we should try to push up. What's comes to us? We may have, if market want to be too nice for us to have a very perfect entry, we may have price push to this level, push this level, and then push up. But for me, I have a way to trade out there. All right, I know where my stop loss will be. Every day, I find a better way or a more useful way to get in line with the market direction so that I don't get left behind. All right, with as usual with a calculated risk. If I'm entering here, I know the kind of lot size I'll be using, and I know where I'm going to place my stop loss just in case price trade to that area. As I said, most of the time I don't trade with stop loss. Actually, I observe the market. All right, I observe the market. Once the market brings up a characteristics that I don't think is viable, I may end my trade manually without even going low to the stop loss. So stop loss is not the main thing for me. Okay, but however, you should understand candlesticks pattern, the characteristics of the market. How do the market react at a particular level? The moment you get that, you should be on your way to profitability. All right, so for me, gold is now bullish after a push down. We became bearish here on the daily, but from here I understand that the market has changed. All right, so we need to look for a way to push the price higher. Worst case scenario, price may come back down and give us proper directional bias from this support period. So let's go back to the chart. Okay, Isaiah. Is it Oguntoye? I guess it should be Isaiah. It's a pray Oguntoye. Please help with UJ. All right, UJ will be coming up next. UJ will be coming up next. So let's go back to UJ. Do I have UJ? Yeah. So let's look at the monthly. Whatever I do, I always look at the monthly first. You can see how price reacted from the support here and then push up. Okay. This simply means we are bullish. Okay. In fact, we start being bullish on this pair from here. All right. Because we had a bearish candle doesn't mean the market has changed. That's what you need to know, because we are not rejecting from any resistance. So we are bullish on the monthly. And from the analysis I made, if you look at it, these are the areas. Okay. All right, so let's continue. I'm trying to make the stream a bit faster. Okay. So now on the weekly, you can see we are also bullish, but when you are being bullish like that, always take note of the opposite side of the direction. In this case, support heading to resistance. So we are extremely bullish here. Do we have any form of entry? So in this case, there's nothing wrong in you taking this trade at the opening price. All right. What's come to worst, price will come back down to this point and then push up. So it all depends on how you want to engage with the risk. All right, but the market is bullish. So this is my take on USD JPY. This is my take on USD JPY. All right. So going back to NAS 100. NAS 100. This was massive. This was massive trade on NAS 100. The movement came from here. All right. And since then, pushing to all-time high. All right. So this particular market is bullish on the monthly. So let's go to the weekly. Weekly as well is bullish. Okay. There's no form of resistance for us. So our issue here is knowing when to enter the market. Okay. For me, this was the best place to have entered. Yeah. All right. But you can also wait for the day to close and then mark out your support here for price to touch and then push. All right. A good example is like when price closed here, you can see price came back down to touch the support, even though it has a much deeper drop down. Eventually, it push up, because it's always good to have a, how would I put it, getting to enter a trade at a very good price, because it's all about price. It's all about price. So when you are able to enter a trade at a very good price, especially if it's a buy and you're getting it lower, even cheaper, is better. When you're buying something cheaper, it's always a good bargain. All right. And when you are selling at expensive price, it's also a good bargain. So it all depends on how you want to approach the market. So for me, NAS 100 is a solid buy. NAS 100 is a solid buy for me. Okay. So I'm going to look at US 30. In today's stream, I won't be spending much time on this stream. By the time I'm done with a couple of pairs, I'll quickly head away. Why I launched out this stream was to let you know that I am back. Okay. So you should be expecting more of live streaming from next week. More of live streaming from next week. All right. So that is the reason why I launched the live today. So that from next week, if possible, we can do it twice. London and New York session, London and New York session, if possible. That is my goal. Victor. So let's go to the chat here. Our member, Victor Ndumayak, says, please, Euro USD and knowing when to enter the market. I've done the analysis on Euro USD already. 1 minute. So now, Victor is asking when to enter the market. I said it already. You can enter the market now. Okay? You can enter the market now. Just put your stop loss above. All right? You can enter the market now. There's nothing stopping you from entering the market now. All right? Then tomorrow we should continue pushing lower. Okay? But the best part was always enter at resistance for a sell. The best part was to have entered when market came to retest this level. All right? If you go to your 4-hour, when price came back in, it even created a fresh level to sell. You can sell, but as it stands now, you can still sell, because for me, I feel the market is going down. That is if only you can endure any form of drawdown that comes in. Just put your stop loss somewhere above here and manage your risk. The best price was here, it would have been in profit. But if you enter here, or you simply wait for this candle to close, when you close, you open. At the next open, you can sell. All right, it all depends. As time goes on, you're going to learn entry from. If you want to learn my proper strategy, I have a VIP mentorship that you can join. It's on my website, rabafx.com. All right. When you visit rabafx.com, just go to the, what was it called? Join now, something like that. When you visit the website, you're going to see it there. Okay, rabafx.com. rabafx.com. All right. So that is that for Victor. So I was looking at US 30. So US 30, same thing with we start on the monthly, and obviously this is a bullish play. Now there's an issue when it gets to all-time high. Okay, I always tell you guys to be careful with it, because anytime market may decide to drop, people may decide to take some profit, which might result in this push down. Okay, not that the market changed direction on its own, or the market is now a bearish market. Those sell are simply maybe big banks taking their profit, and when you are taking your profit from a buy position, you are simply selling, so it will reflect in the price, and then the market might decide to crash a little. So weekly, we are still bullish on the weekly. Okay, so we are simply looking at how can we enter a trade. Now, two things: you can wait for a blue candle to form, and then you take a buy, and then at this level here. All right, or you simply wait. If you want price to give you a very nice entry, you wait for it to come down here. So whatever way it is. Now, the way I teach my students, I don't teach you to have 100% win rate. Okay, I teach you to know how to calculate your risk when you're entering a trade, you know how much you are going to lose in that trade, and give yourself levels where you simply react from the market. All right. This level, if price come back down here, I'm going to buy. Here also at the end of today, price come to the support there, I'm going to buy. So it all depends. All right. It all depends on how you want to apply your risk. Okay. Price can still push up from here, or you wait for it to come back down to this level and you buy. If you go to 4 hour, for 4 hour, you can refine this area here. If price come to this last level here, that is your entry. Okay, just in case you are not comfortable and pulling the trigger here, the best area is always area that is close to the opening price or at the opening price. All right, so this is all I have to say, and I won't be spending time. I'll be heading out shortly. So if there's any question, put it in the chat. Back to the, so what I was saying is that you can come to this level to buy. I realized I was showing just my face without sharing the screen. All right. So if there's any question, don't hesitate to ask. Okay. Okay. So on that note, we'll